Alex Jones said that Sandy Hook didn't happen. It was staged by actors.
Why is this conversation being brought up? Why is it relevant to Andrew Tate what Alex Jones said about a random topic? It has nothing to do with him. They're trying to demonize him so they don't have to contend with what he has to say. That's all it is, and that is the trick Andrew Tate is referring to. Like, why are they talking about this?
Okay.
Andrew Tate should respond to Piers being like, "Have you met Donald Trump?" No. Have you met Donald Trump? And then just keep asking him the question as if it means something. It means nothing. Like, what? It's so odd.
The appalling grief of the families of those poor 20 children.
Okay.
How's he responsible for any of that? What?
Who were gunned to pieces by a lunatic with an AR-15 semi-automatic rifle. They were already grief-stricken beyond belief, and this guy poured petrol onto that grief quite deliberately to make a huge amount of money.
Why is that relevant? It's not.
From his InfoWars fake news bullshit. And as a result, a lot of the families have now sued him, and they've won, and he's going to have to pay back tens, maybe hundreds of millions of dollars in damages to these families. And quite right, it won't do anything about the pain he caused them. Some of them actually had people turn up outside their houses with guns because Alex Jones had told them that these...
Dude, it doesn't matter. This has nothing to do with Andrew Tate. Okay, this is just emotional bait for extreme leftists. That's what this is. We're going to talk about something that's really hurtful and painful, even though it has nothing to do with the topic, so that we can remind you that we're the emotional victims. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. This has nothing to do with the topic. He's not connected in any way to this.
His parents were making it all up. They were all staged actors. It was all run by the government. So I simply say to you, now I've told you that, what is your view of Alex Jones?
I don't see why any of that has to do with me. It's very interesting. I've done the guy's podcast. I know him well. He was professional and courteous to me. When I meet somebody and they show me respect, I show them back. Respect. That's what I do, as I did with you.
You respect him?
If somebody shows me respect, I show them respect back.
So if Adolf Hitler showed you respect, you'd respect him back.
What kind of CNN question is that? So he answers the question with, I give people respect who show me respect. And then the CNN asked question is, so you respect Alex Jones after he did all of this emotionally bad stuff? What? That has nothing to do with the topic. Bro, these people are addicted to being victims. They're addicted to being oppressed so that they can dismiss what you have to say. Because if you're a predator, if you're a masculine guy, and you say what you think, oh, you're dangerous. Bro, you're a threat. Toxic.
That's a stupid question, Piers.
It's not. It's a logical extension of your
argument.
argument.
No, it's not. It's retarded. Dude, it's retarded.
No, if in 1931 I was walking through Germany and a man come up to me and said, sorry for bumping into you, I'd say, sorry, no problem, mate. I'd show respect back. I don't know, what are you trying to say? That I sanction the Holocaust?
You literally just said if somebody respects you, you respect them back.
I say if somebody shows me respect, I show respect back. That's a good way to go through life.
Whoever it is.
If somebody shows me respect and is courteous to me, I'm courteous back. Yes.
How can you respect somebody who caused such misery and pain to Sandy Hook?
I have no idea the specifics of the thing you're discussing. I don't understand any of it. Well, I don't know anything about it. You told me your version of events.
When did you go on the podcast?
I was on the podcast about four times in the last 4 years. I did one relatively recently.
So four times you went on Alex Jones's podcast.
Correct.
Promoting him, helping him make money.
I don't think it was promoting and helping him because...
Well, it's his podcast.
Well, yeah, but I've been on the podcast...
This is degenerate. This is becoming degenerate. This is not with a goal of honesty in mind. This is degenerate.
People who absolutely hate me. I've been on liberal left-wing podcasts. I've been on feminist podcasts. Fine. And no, you just sat here saying I would like you to agree, perhaps we can agree on this point, that I'm not a feminist. I go on feminist podcasts. I do a podcast circuit.
You're not a feminist?
No, I don't know.
What do you think a feminist is?
Well, let's not change subject here, Piers. Stay on the subject.
I know. You mentioned feminism.
Completely. But you're trying to get away from the point because what you did is you're trying to say because I did a podcast, I sanction all of this person's views. And I'm saying I do 5 podcasts a week. I do 5 podcasts a week and I don't sanction 100% the views of any other person on the planet because I'm an individual and he has an individual views.
There you go. They hate the fact that people are individuals. They want people to conform and identify primarily with group membership because if you do that, you get rid of your ability to think, and you adhere to the radical left idea of Marxism, because Marxism requires you to identify primarily with group membership.
As do you. So I don't know why you're trying to come at me with one of his views and pretend that's something to do with me.
Because it's a pretty big view.
No, but it's a lame trick, Piers, and you're better.
It's irrelevant, and yeah, he is better than this.
Better than this. So let's move on.
Would you?
It's lame, and let's move on.
Putin had a podcast, would you go on it?
Sure.
You would? Great. Okay, let me know what you're talking about.
If Vladimir Putin had a podcast,
fine,
I'd go on
that's
it.
fine.
If Joe Biden had a podcast, I'd go on it. If a feminist has a podcast, I'll go on it. If Piers Morgan has a podcast, I'll go on it.
Bro, completely owned and destroyed. Dude, that might have been... Okay, that's probably the second stupidest question he's asked this interview. Completely retarded. I wonder if you wrote that one down or if it was impromptu. I'm betting it's impromptu because of the nature of its illogical resentment. Like, if you zoom in with a microscope on that, the fibers of the material of that question are built of emotional resentment of feminist design. 100,000%.
If Alex Jones, I don't see the point you're making. There's no point here. You're digging, but there's nothing to find.
Well, I'm not. I'm taking your position that if somebody shows you respect them.
I think that...
I'm saying there are lots of people in the world...
That's such a retarded thing to say. This is retarded. This is low IQ. This is literally low IQ.
Well, I do not respect. If Vladimir Putin showed me respect, I would not respect him.
Dude, this is retarded. This is retarded.
That's your opinion, but...
No, it's my view. What's
Okay,
your
that's
view?
your view. Well,
Your view.
It's not... It's not my opinion. It's my view, bruh.
View is you would.
You're sitting here, Piers, saying that
so
I'm on
low
an
IQ.
uncensored show, and in your intro,
This is so low IQ.
you said that it's important that we don't have echo chambers and we have varying...
Correct.
And that we have varying opinions.
Correct.
But then you're saying the people you don't like, you wouldn't go on their podcast.
No.
So you are a hypocrite.
No.
I wouldn't do this with Jordan Peterson, because Jordan Peterson would just stare at him. This is so low IQ. This is so low IQ, man.
I will go on anybody's podcast and discuss any point.
I don't think you understand what censorship means, do you? Like a lot of words we've had problems with today.
You're just saying
What do you think censorship means?
No, but the point I'm trying to make here...
Hang on. What do you think censorship means?
Don't hide from the fact that you're saying you will only do podcasts with people you like.
Why do you think that's censorship?
No, that's your prerogative. My prerogative is
What does it do with censorship?
I'll discuss opinions with anybody, and I've done hard left wing. Why are you not asking me about the podcasts I've done for the people who are hard liberal
By the
left
way,
wing?
I don't care whether they're left or right.
Okay.
Extremists to me are...
Yes, you clearly do. You clearly do, because you brought up Alex Jones. Hello?
Nuts, right?
Then we agree.
Yes.
So perfect.
Good.
Next subject.
All right, here's my next subject.
That was so low IQ. Oh my god, bro. I'm going to have to watch 8 hours of Jordan Peterson just to recover from that travesty. What the fuck did I just hear, man? Dude. Oh my god, bro. What the fuck, Piers? Dude. Why? Why? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god.
It's a very
Jesus.
serious case here.
Jesus. And before you move on, sorry, Piers, but before you move on, I do find it kind of disingenuous. And I know we're on a show, and I don't have a personal problem with you, but it is kind of disingenuous to try and sit here and lump me in with some school shooting. That's nothing to do with me. That's nothing to do with me. On any level.
Let me respond.
On any level.
Let me explain. Like you just said, you've been on this podcast 4 times.
In 4 years.
Since he said the whole thing was staged.
I don't know when he
said. And I think the fact that a smart guy like you wants me to believe you had no idea that Alex Jones, who's been in the news now for the last 2 years for being sued by these families for the most heinous thing imaginable of pouring petrol onto their grief by claiming that shooting was staged. The fact that you're pretending you didn't know about any of that.
It's not about pretending
and
I didn't know.
been on his podcast 4 times, supporting him and making him...
Spend time analyzing the point of view of that person and everything they've ever said
You should.
for years beforehand.
It's not years, it was minutes in most cases.
Years and years.
When did you last go on his... When did you last go on his podcast?
You trying to lump me in and attack me for a person whose podcast I do having a view is absolutely childish. Because I've done a bunch of podcasts with people.
You would do a podcast.
I've done a bunch of podcasts with people who are advocating for things that I do not agree with on every single level. In fact, most of my podcasts are me disagreeing with people. So it's completely crazy that you're trying to lump me in with that. That's cheap. That's cheap.
You are completely misconstruing the point of what I'm saying.
Dude, move on. It's over.
I think deliberately.
No, what you're trying is a cheap trick. And I'm just making it clear to the audience.
It's not a cheap trick. I'm just curious where
your
your
line... Yes, it is a cheap trick, and you've been called on it.
Where your moral line is.
It's a cheap trick.
Where's your moral line?
I disagree with the points of view with the majority of the people I do podcasts with. So it's a very cheap trick you're trying here. So
when people invent vile things to make themselves rich off the back of families of little kids who've been blown to pieces with a...
This has nothing to do with Andrew Tate, bro! Bro, what the fuck, bro? Yo, this this guy has a mental problem. This guy has a mental problem, dude. Dude, what the fuck is this? What the fuck? How did it come to this, man? How you started the conversation like for the first 10 minutes, it wasn't degenerate. Then it became like the victimhood Olympics or whatever. Then this, dude. Pull it together, Piers. You interviewed Jordan Peterson. If you interviewed him like this, he would just stare at you and be like, well, actually, you're full of chaos, technically speaking. So, and you know it's true. So, oh my God, what the fuck?
Machine gun, or a semi-automatic version of a machine gun. Cares. I think that is actually a line I would.
This has nothing to do with the conversation. Nothing. What the dude? I clicked on this video. I want to hear what Andrew Tate has to say. You're talking about a different topic because you've been called out on your cheap bullshit identity politics. Like, dude, he identifies as an individual, not a group. He doesn't. We don't have to be uniform. He doesn't agree with everything you think. He doesn't agree with everything anyone else thinks. That's what makes him an individual. That's not only good. It's required and admirable for society to function.
I wouldn't cross.
God. I wouldn't. Yeah, this is low IQ. This is low IQ. This is degenerate.